From Jamal Moses, Mr. Morocco, what's your 5 favourite matches as a wrestler? And what is your favourite promo/interview you ever did? So we'll tackle your favourite matches ever.
My own favorite matches or just favorite matches, period?
It just says what are your 5 favourite matches as a wrestler, so I'm going to assume the ones that you were in.
No, it'd have to be a couple with Koloff. Like I said, obviously Snuka. There's a bunch of. I remember one with Snuka that was. We were up in Boston, and it was myself and Cowboy Orton, Bob Orton, and he's another one of those little Valentine, Sergeant Slaughter, Paul Orndorff. Bob Orton was another premier heel, premier worker, minus the interviews, but he was, just a great asset. But anyway, back to the story. I might have been the time where Roddy was having a kid or gone. I don't know if I was filling in or he was filling in or what, but it was Bob and I in a tag against Snuka and Hogan. Boston Gardens, sold out. And I remember something, Snuka came off the top rope on me. I was standing, I caught him, and Bob hit him with his cast, and Jimmy got collar and rolled out, fell out to the floor. Where we took over, and Hulk started. Anyway, so Hulk came back and started coming back, and the place just erupted. And then somehow we stopped Hulk or something. And then when Snuka came in on top of that, it was just a double explosion. That was just, was really a memorable point aside from matches. To pinpoint a match, there was a lot of matches that, a lot of guys that, Jack Briscoe, Stevens, and different guys I worked with, Steamboat, Bob Backlund, Jimmy, of course, and all the other guys. It's like, where's your favorite place to wrestle? It depends, where you happen to be at the time, and then things are going down, right? And like favorite wrestlers, there's a handful of them, and I was fortunate enough to be, to always, usually be with somebody that's, was a good, was a tremendous performer. So I was lucky that I always had, somebody to help me like that through the match. I remember, of course, I remember the cage match with Jimmy, and I remember a cage match with Ivan in St. Petersburg, Florida, where I was baby facing that. And I remember that as being exceptional. And then other matches around, naturally, our matches with Jack Briscoe and Bob Backlund, and changing titles with Pedro Morales in the Garden or Philadelphia. They're all memorable. There's just not there wasn't one guy that liked better, or one match I like better than another. There are many. I don't know if any other guys, wrestlers, have their preferences to matches, but everybody else in every territory, and you have an angle or somebody you're an arch rival or arch enemy, whether you're a babyface or a heel. So it doesn't, wherever you were, there was a time there that you were at odds with somebody.
This is just mine. As a fan, your favorite ever match that you ever watched, whether you're in the business or before.
Watched. There was a lot of impressions that they were made. I remember Blassie wrestling Nef Mayavo here in Hawaii when I was a little kid. When Blassie was just at the peak of his heat, was at the peak of his heel run out of Los Angeles and over here, and he was, just a tremendous amount of heat. And then other times, when I was young, Carpentier and some of those guys, Bearcat Wright, and other those guys coming through. Steamboat and Macho Man had a hell of a match. I remember Pat Patterson and Slaughter in that Broadway, Broadway
camp.
Street Fighter, whatever it has.
Boot camp, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay. And that was there's some, there's a lot of, there were a lot of great performers out there. A lot of guys, that knew how to get it done. Dusty always had, good stuff.
And also, sorry, what was your favorite promo interview you ever did? Do you have one, or if not, we'll move on?
There's a few. They were teasing me one time. There was a pulpit there, and I used to do the Ernest Angley thing. Baby, the evangelist. I break down into an evangelist type thing, and everybody's like, use the pulpit. So I had a Playboy or something, I was pointing right here, to the Garden of, the Garden of Eden, Garden of Passion, and Avenue 33, Street 8, the Garden of Madison. So I remember I ran off of that. I seen it around a few places, and it was fun. And then other, Florida, when I had with the family, with Curtis and Killer Khan, Joe Duke, and all these other guys, I remember I did a promo for going up to Gainesville. And they were having a dismal football season, about losers and we're winners. And, different promos that came through, but nothing that really sticks. God, the thousands and thousands that we did in our time. So it's hard to.